Hey everybody, Koricon Nala here, and I've got the director, co-writer, and the other co-writer for Breathe, the Amazon Prime show. Say hello to Mayank Sharma, who is the director and co-writer, and Vikram Tuli, the other co-writer for Breathe. How's it going, sirs? How are you?
Oh, super. Really excited to be here talking about Breathe with you. We've been really following all of your reviews and really appreciate the kind of passion and efforts you really put behind each and every episode and reviewing it with such detail and finesse and catching each and every point that after third or fourth episode, I told him that was he part of our screenplay writing team or what?
No, I'm just a fan that ends up researching things a little too much.
Yeah, we went to a point of saying to each other, this guy is going to catch us somewhere.
Yeah.
He's going to bridge us.
And I thought I did. I thought I caught you with the sequence of Madhavan where Danny left the blind school because I was like, okay, they're showing movies. I know these movies. They're playing the circus. That's only an hour and 15 minutes. And they're playing airlift for the guys that can see. That's 2 hours. There's a gap there. I was like, I'm going to catch him. I'm going to catch him. And then the next episode, he comes back. It's a different Charlie Chaplin movie. And I'm like, oh, dang it. They put two of them together to make it fit 2 hours.
Yeah, because Danny was very well aware that how far the club would be and how much time will take. So he really, though we never show that happening, but he edited two films together, joined them, and came to a length of 1.5 hours.
Well, what impressed me about that is not a lot of movie makers, show creators are going to take that into consideration. Like, they're just going to show a clip from a movie to show the scene that he is doing that, the fact that he's has his voice on the iPhone and then he's leaving and then coming back and show a different scene. But they don't really care what scene it is. The fact that you guys mapped it out and were able to tell the specific scene during both movies that you would want playing when the scene happens, that impressed me. That impressed me a lot.
Thank you very much.
It came naturally. What happened was when we started working on Breathe, it was a medical topic, and none of us are doctors. We are not even close to being a doctor. So we had to do a lot of research and learn so much about the topic. And so researching everything was like a flow. We had to research everything before we put it down on paper. So it became like a habit.
That's really good. I like that. So when you first started writing the story, then you wanted to do this. That was your main idea, was the whole AB negative blood donors. And since you were going into that with that raw idea and you were saying you had to study all this stuff, it just kind of overflowed into everything else in the writing where you're like, we might as well study this stuff as well. We're already doing it. Let's just keep doing it.
So it was always about, first of all, organ donation being such a noble cause all over. So we didn't want to play, or take cinematic liberties around it. We were very sure about it. So that's how it all started, the research work, where we consulted doctors and how really the donation happens, what is the difference between being what is the kind of gaps we are looking at being a recipient and the organ donor situation right now in India and other countries as well. So then over and above, you have to make it look like a natural death, for Danny not getting caught or the body going for an autopsy to the police. Because if that happens, then the organ would not be donated.
Right.
So all those things, making a person brain dead and how he's going to reach the hospital. And so there were all these small integrities of logical placements which need to come in. So which is where, we really brainstormed a lot, discussed it with a lot of people, a lot of various doctors, went to the locations, really mapped the timings as well. So a lot of credit goes to even my team, my ADs, who were part of the whole prep work. So it was a good collaboration of a lot of good technicians coming together.
Yeah, I liked. Sorry, I got an echo real quick, but I liked the the fact that you were showing how the body was going to be discovered. Whether it's ordering the pizza with the film student, or having the guy on the motorcycle call for help. Whatever it was, there was, the timing of the guy that delivered groceries to the dude in the apartment, that you had something set up that would show that the body would be discovered quickly. And I liked all that stuff, but some of it, didn't translate very well in that for Danny's character, where Kabir was picking up, like, why did she order pizza if she's going to kill herself? He ended up getting sloppy as things go along because his confidence got too big. And I liked that character progression. Was it your intention from the beginning to do a long form series so that you could have that big character progression? Or were you considering doing a movie, and while you were writing it, it just got too big?
So, yeah, absolutely. So once, first of all, when the story was conceptualized, and so once I had a broad idea and I had put it down on paper on an 8-10 pager where you really narrate the story. If you really read it, you get to know what the start, middle, and end of the story is. But I could always see that there is a lot of meat inside it. So that is when Vikram and I collaborated on writing the screenplay for it. So once we started doing that, even we realized, when we were midway, that we are talking about a character going through this amazing journey of both of them, Danny as well as Kabir, who have their own demons to face in a way. And then there are victims, where you need to get into their lives, study them, everything, to make it look real, believable. So it definitely had the potential to, to make it, to tell it convincingly on a long story format, which even Vikram really jumped on the idea. So he was the one who got really excited along with me that let's go ahead with and make it into an original series, for sure. Yeah.
And Matt, when we started the long format stuff, we've not done this before. So we were in the blind. We weren't sure whether what we're doing is good or bad. So we would ask ourselves, is this the right thing? Is this good? So we came to a conclusion that we are going to write what we like, be it good or bad, and then leave it to fate. So Breathe is what we like, rather than what we wrote for somebody else to like. It was something that we liked, and we didn't care whether people like it or not.
No, that's...
Yeah, it so happened that a lot of people did like what we like.
That's if you look at a lot of creators for just about anything, you've heard that a lot. If you make something that I like or you're passionate about, that translates and people get attracted to it. Mel Blanc said that a lot with Bugs Bunny. They were just trying to make each other laugh, and if they could make each other laugh, it got in the cartoons. Mel Brooks would say the same kind of thing. But that's always a good sign, and that's what I try and do on my channel too, is I do things that I like, and then the people that are attracted to it, they come. If not, that's fine. But now, since you did stuff that you liked, I'm glad that it's stuff that I like as well. But every episode was very tight. You had to pay attention. There wasn't, like, a lot of shows have filler episodes where they're just trying to pad the length to get to a certain number of episodes. But you guys had 8 episodes. Each one was very tight, had progression, a lot of information, and then it ended when it was supposed to end. Was 8 episodes what you originally planned, or did you plan for more and bring it down, or did you plan for less and bring it out?
No, it was exactly, the number came to 8 episodes. We were very clear about it. Being a thriller, though a lot of people did told us post watching it once it got released, towards the end we felt, you could have gave us another 10 minutes of content, but I take it as an appreciation. I really feel that the genre which thriller is basically, it should not be told, it should not be more, it should not be less. It should leave you at a point where you wish you could see more, and that is what compels you to go on to the next episode. So we were very clear about the pace of every episode. So there was no, in terms of foundation from the platform, which is Amazon Prime, or our producers, that we have to deliver a 40-45 minute at least, 10 episodes, 8 episodes. It was a very good creative freedom from them to us, that you write it accordingly, and if you feel this is the right length of the episode, then just cut it there, and with a great cliffhanger, so that the audience do come back in the next episode to see it. So it was always an 8 episodic series, which
and we were aware. Sorry, we were aware of the danger. We were aware that the person who's going to watch this has got a remote control in his hand. And the moment we give them a scene that doesn't work, he's going to switch. So that looming threat was always there, even when we were writing. We knew if we bungle up, if we give them even one scene that doesn't work, they're going to switch. So we were extra careful to narrate the story in a way that it doesn't let them feel bored or let things slow down, or things like that.
But I was going to say, but you did have a lot of scenes with no dialogue that I thought was a great decision. Instead of, you could have easily narrated those scenes, but the visual storytelling, I love visual storytelling because it goes across language boundaries. It doesn't matter what language everybody can see the same thing.
Yeah, Matt, the advantage there is that Mayank is a director. So when we were writing, he would conceptualize. And even though there were some scenes we had written dialogues for, he got rid of them during the shoot. He said, this is how I would like to picturize the scene. This is how I would like to shoot this scene. So the advantage we had while writing was that we had a good director, I would say good director, with us on board. So we had that advantage always.
Yeah, so I've been always, this is what, so this is what we like. So that's how it all started with, very less dialogues. Even if you see Danny, what he's doing, he can't really go out and express to anybody. So whatever he's facing, the turmoil which is happening inside him, you just see through his eyes or his actions, not beyond that. And be it Kabir, a man who has such a dark past and is now fighting it day in, day out, he's not a man who really talks a lot. He doesn't understand relationships. So both of them really had this, a great, I would say, and all credit goes to Madhavan as well as Mati sir and Amit sir. Both of them beautifully conveyed all the emotions without really, and we were very clear. Like I remember in the finale episode where the grandmother gets the evidence box,
right?
While she was cleaning the garage. So a lot of people, you expect now she's gonna confront the son. Son is gonna share his part of story, his side of story to the grandmother, and try to convince her, and there's that, and there'll be a good 2-pager lengthy dialogue scene. And we decided that we are not gonna say a single dialogue throughout the scene. Just look into the eyes, where mother is just looking at his son, saying, "Why you did this?" Son is looking into the mother's eyes. I had to do it. Is he conscious? Is he when he's in the washroom? and looking in the mirror and remembering all the moments of the mother. So by the time you feel that is he gonna kill the mother now, because he has managed to kill Dr. Aruna also, who came to know about his plan. And then when he comes out, there's this one dialogue where the mother says that if I could get it, anybody will get it. That says a lot. So and if you see, that's a good 7-8 minute sequence, a series of scenes which follows without a single dialogue, just that one dialogue. So it was a great experiment, and I am very happy that people like you have really appreciated it and are talking about it. And same goes here in India as well, as we've been getting a lot of messages on Twitter, social media platforms from people all over the world, and they have connected to this new form of storytelling, and they appreciate it a lot. So it feels great.
Yeah, I have two friends right now that are watching it right now. They're on episode 6, and one of my friends started watching the Madhavan interview, and she was like, should I wait until after I'm done before are they going to spoil anything? And I'm like, yeah, just watch the show and then you can watch my videos on it later.
So I just did that for episode 8. I just do that.
Now, for this story, which came first? The idea of an AB negative donor, or the fact that you wanted to do a thriller genre?
No, it never started like, let's do a thriller genre or a whodunit or a horror. It's not like that. The story comes to you first, be it a drama, be it a comedy, whatever. So with Breathe, that is what has happened. So a lot of real life observations, and one particular incident triggered a thought with me, So that is how it was conceptualized. One day, I can share that with you. So I was waiting in my car on a traffic signal. It was jam-packed. There was, say, about 20 cars ahead of me, and there was an ambulance stuck in between the traffic jam. And the ambulance was really trying, honking and going back and forward, taking the right, left to just make a way out of there. And the siren was blazing, everything. People were trying, but there was very heavy traffic. And then suddenly what I see is the back door opens and I see a family member jumping out of the ambulance and going and banging at every car, trying his hard to make the way for the ambulance. So I don't know who he was, father, brother, whoever, but I could see the patient inside and everything. And I just saw the despair, the feeling on his face, the emotion that, time is running out and I could lose him or her. So that struggle, that look which I saw on his face stayed with me. So that's how it all started. So the story definitely came first.
Well, you captured that very well. Madhavan's performance had that look in his eye, whenever he was interacting with the son, who was so adorable, it was insane. Like I was telling people, I would kill to keep this kid alive. He was so cute. How did Amazon get involved? Did you pitch the idea to them, or did they approach you for doing a show?
No, so I'll just go back a little. I'll share the whole process.
Oh, sorry.
Great. So again, it started with conceptualizing the story. Then Vikram heard the story and he loved it, and we decided to collaborate together and develop it into a screenplay. And that's how it all started. And that point of time, Vikram was living in Pune, which is, say, about 250 kilometers away from Mumbai. And, I was looking forward to that I just wanted to go out of the city and just write. So I went to his place, and then we all just stayed there for close to 2-3 months, and we were writing. So once we had a good structure of 8 episodes, that's when, so I happened to narrate it. So, to my producers, who is Mr. Vikram Malhotra from Abundancia Entertainment. So they had produced Airlift, by the way, yeah. So it was their film. So I narrated it to, they were the first producers who heard the story. I never went to any other producer before that. So he heard and he just said that it's great, let's do it. We are doing the film, we are doing the series, I would say. And so we decided that, and that is when he happened to meet Amazon team at that point of time. This is, I'm talking about 2016. So that is when, and Amazon just came in to India. They were already making a show called Inside Edge. Yeah. So then he just narrated one line to the Amazon team, and they also got excited by hearing the one line. And then they called me to give them the whole narration. So that is when I narrated the whole series of, which was in an 8-episode format to them, and they just loved it, and they said we are making this series. And then after that, that was the first draft. That is when Amazon started giving us feedbacks, and then there was another process of 5-6 months where we refined the whole structure again and made it into a crisp script. So first came in the producers, then Amazon. So we pitched the idea to Amazon. So that's how it happened.
Well, they were smart to pick it up, that's for sure. What was the casting process like? Like, which character was the hardest to cast?
Josh, I would say. Absolutely, because he was the backbone. It was very important. If you really don't relate to that love story of that father and son, everything would fall flat. So I was the most concerning, and that was my feedback, my brief to my casting team. And credit goes to the casting director for that, Rohan Mafuskar is his name. So he auditioned close to at least, I would say, 250, 300 kids of that age. And then he was shortlisting on his own. And he came up with 5 kids. And then those 5 kids came to me. And I worked along with all of them. And that is when I decided on Atharva, who played the character of Josh.
Well, you found the right one, because as soon as he says, "I don't want to die, Dada," like just in the trailer, I was like, ah!
That is amazing, I can say, amazing. The most natural actor. I was very clear, we never gave him any scene on the set. Just told him about the feel of the moment, and he would just absorb that and react accordingly. So there was no dialogues, no specific mark for him to stand, look here, there. I told my DOP, the shots go out focus, I'm okay with that. But we need to capture the innocence of this boy. So let's not restrict him. So that was, and Madhavan, my buddy sir, really played a great mentor. He kind of developed that bonding with him before the shoot and on the shoots. He was always with him. So that really translated well. And that boy was the only critical thing was, for him to be with that cylinder all the time, with the tube running with him. So that was the whole crucial point, because being a 7-year-old child, you're not used to it.
Right.
So, what he did when he heard the idea from me, and I told him that, this is going to be the prop which is going to be with you always. He said, "Sir, can I take it home?" So for 10 days before the shoot, he practiced it. He was wearing that throughout in his home. So once he used to come back from the school, he would just take that cylinder, and through the day he was just roaming around with that cylinder. So that kind of homework he did.
He's a natural method actor. The Manavan said that your principal photography was about 42 to 48 days. And 47 days. Okay, and doing 8 episodes at the same time like that, I mean, it's like filming 2 or 3 movies at once. How did you plan your shooting schedule for something that complicated?
So if you're talking about, 8 episodes of 40 minutes, you're talking about 320 minutes of content, which is close to 3 feature films.
Yeah.
That too in 47 days with whatever kind of finish we have given to the look and feel. We have not compromised really anywhere on any front. So everything, I would say the whole, it's again a team effort from my DOP, Subbu, to the whole direction team, from the writing team. We had the script exactly in place. There was never a debate that whether this scene should be there or not there, or let's just keep writing the drafts and everything. The script was locked, and that is what gave me a good kickstart to do a thorough pre-production. So, pre-production of close to 4.5 months before the shoot. And, so when you have a fantastic crew, fantastic actors along with you, so we managed to do it really well.
And a good production setup. The producers were so giving. I mean, so excited that they would provide for everything, and we just had to name it. Very good producers.
The energy was amazing. I can always say, you could always feel it. When you're shooting it, you could feel that the energy from what you get from the crew, starting from the producers, who've been actively involved from the scripting stage to pre-production, middle of the night. They would be, just talking with me, coming to the edits, taking my responsibilities, because to come up with 320 minutes in those many days, if I am doing this, I need equally supporting hands to handle some other things for me, when I go to the next thing that is ready. So a great support from the production team. It was amazing to see, and everybody was very sure that, let's give it our best. And because they could see the potential in the script, and everybody came in with the equal passion what I had or Vikram had, was writing it with me. So I would really like to thank each and every member of my crew and cast for this.
Yeah, the production team did a great job. Like I was impressed. I was really impressed. So good job, guys. Okay, so I'd like to talk about some specific scenes that I really liked. I'd like to geek out and nerd with you a little bit. The opening sequence, like for any TV show or movie, you want to have that grabber in the beginning that gets people wanting to see the show. This was one of the best grabbers. Like it really just, you're like, I got to see what happened there. But I love the way it was shot. You had the slow kind of move in on the table that had the cell phone on it. Then you see her hit play. It's from the point of view, the POV shot of the camera. She's saying her thing. She does the plastic, falls over, hits the table. The camera falls just on her legs in a nice perfect spot that cell phones don't do, but it looked great. And then my favorite part of it was the POV from her shot, and you had the cellophane over the camera just to see a shadowy figure walk out of the door. That was a great touch. Like you're watching it going, oh my God, she's committing suicide. This is horrible. And then you see the shadowy figure leave and creepily just close the door, but not all the way. And you're like, what? And then breathe. And you're like, no, I want to know what happens. What's going on? I mean, it was a great grabber.
So, a lot of effort went behind it because, as you mentioned it, the whole POV was a single shot. There was no cut in between. So the girl really had to, from the moment she switches on the camera till that POV shot of that man going out of the door, exit door. Till that point, it's close to 3.5 minutes, and that girl did it as a one shot. So that was my idea, to never cut it. For audience to really feel what she's going through, the suffocation. You should feel it through the one shot, camera POV, mobile phone POV, and absolutely, I would say the credit. Yes, we conceptualized it, but that girl was amazing. She had to go through thorough. Rehearsal. She was doing it all the time for close to 7-8 days, every day with the action team, where she really comes and she needs to wrap her face around tightly and do it. And it was hard. It was really hard. There was no gimmick, no technical gimmick behind it where we poke the cellophane or where she could breathe. It was not like that, because if you do that, you could not feel that it's wrapped to her face. So that was very crucial. So and I remember we shot that scene, that particular shot at 4 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, and that was the whole night shoot. So where Danny comes into her house and gives her the script. So we shot that first, and I kept that part for the end, for her to really go for it, and we wrapped it for the day. So it was very exciting and very, very, very. I was like, there was definitely so behind the camera, there was doctors were there, an ambulance was parked there. It was very crucial and very tense moment at that point of time. So amazing, amazing, and hats off to that Jayashri, is the name of the actor.
It's a part she'll remember for a long time. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it was. It looked real. I mean, and you did it real. So I mean, you could feel it on screen. And it's the same thing where I talk about practical versus CGI. Whenever you do things practically, it always looks better. And so you could really feel it from her performance. And she did a great job. She did a great job, especially for somebody that is supposed to grab the entire show, and then she's not really in it that much. It was just her job to grab your attention, and she did a beautiful job at it. Now, you were talking about single shots. I love the single shots. You had a lot of really long edits. Two of my favorite were the hospital scene where Manavan, Danny is having to sneak through to get the donor list, and you have the nurse go by and all of that stuff. But I really loved the apartment scene where he wakes up in his nightmare and walks through the living room into the kitchen, goes into the mother's room, son is not there, comes out, the turnaround, all the dead people. Like, that was a very good single shot to where when it was happening, I'm going, oh, okay. I see the camera kind of going from one room to the other, following him around, and then the reveal. Of course, as soon as I saw the reveal, my brain is going, oh, they must have been standing back there the whole time. When they, how was the timing for all of that? Did it take a lot of preparation for those single shots, or did you have some preparation and just kind of go for it?
Yeah, so it all depends on the various factors which run behind conceptualizing a single shot. So I'm a great admirer of lengthy single shots for no other reason for show, the technical aspect of it. No, the whole idea is to explore the immersive feeling where audience is there with you and watching the actor, closely without going in a profile shot or a low angle or a top angle, whatever. So you are with the character, and it works only at the time where it needs to be told like that. Every scene can't have that kind of an approach and kill it otherwise. So the hospital corridor, yes, it took lot of retakes happened because it was a long single shot from his head. We come down, the glasses had to be seen in his hand. Then he's walking towards the end of the corridor without really revealing his face. So that was the crucial single shot, which took a lot of time. For the nightmare scene, that is where. So that was again the brief to the DOP was, it's okay, if actor goes here, there, if he goes out focus, it's absolutely okay. The whole effort went behind is to create the mood with the lighting. That it's middle of the night, close to 2:33 a.m. It's dark, just patches you see, right? So to create that mood, yes, and we started from his room, came to the living room, then went to the kids' room, then went to the kitchen, then again. So it was a long passage to really light. So that credit goes to my DOP for creating the light mood. That happened, I think, the second take we really achieved lightness.
Yeah, it was a great shot. And I agree with you that, when you have longer edits, you retain the audience's attention. Like they get more involved. The more edits you put in there, because I see an edit like every edit as almost a distraction or a way of kind of, the audience has to reacclimate to the new edit. You know, where am I right now? You know, every time there's an edit. That's why action movies that do too many edits, it throws me off. I don't like them because I'm like, for one, you didn't practice it. You didn't have much research going into it. And two, you're making me reacclimate too many times and I can't follow it. So every time I saw a single shot in Breathe, I was very happy because it just, you know, I could just engross in it and just follow it along. I didn't have to reacclimate with every edit. The other one I really liked, and it wasn't like a super long edit, but it was a long edit, where you had the reveal of Kabir's wife being one of the donors. And you had the split screen of Madhavan holding the picture in the opposite direction and Kabir holding the flask, and they're walking at the same speed. They both get to the wall. Flask and the picture comes up. Kabir reads the name as Madhavan's putting the picture up. It was well timed for both sequences to be perfectly in time. The reveal for both characters, I mean, it was a great moment. I liked how well that was timed.
A very crucial shot because we shot it separately. Like Danny was shot in his warehouse and Kabir was shot in the police station. But the timing was crucial. So that is how, and I shot with Danny first, then with Kabir. So, you know, we had to, and I had to brief Maddie sir that this is how, you know, I'm picturizing Kabir. So he had to visualize that how, at what pace, you know, Amit will walk. So I would just match it accordingly because what he will say, then accordingly I'll shoot with Amit, with Kabir. So he understood the whole treatment of the scene, and then he timed it accordingly, everything. And then we timed the shot and we went to Kabir, and you know, that is when I showed him that what Danny did, the pace of walk and everything, and we tried to do that with him also. So that was a very, and we were very clear that this is how I'm going to do it. You know, that was there in the script as well. So it was that it is going to be like that.
From day one.
From day one.
From day one.
So we were very clear. So, you know, it was not that we, it was a later thought where we let's try this treatment. So, and turned out well.
I love that shot. I mean, it's a great reveal in the show.
And what happens is, you know, so my favorite moment of that shot is where you see the picture in the foreground, the left side of the screen, and the hip flask, the right side of the screen. That, you know, that it was a symbolic touch that, you know, so this flask is gonna be a hurdle with this man. Mm-hmm. And this picture is what he doesn't know is gonna be the victim, the next victim, which is his wife. So what will happen? You know, it's the wife versus the flask.
Yeah, it was a good reveal also because you had, you know, having the two separate storylines for at least the first 4 episodes when they haven't met yet. You know, the wife is a very natural character to have in there because of Kabir's storyline, you know, with his daughter dying and the divorce and everything. It was very natural to have her character there. So when you had the reveal, it wasn't like you were watching the first 4 episodes going, why are they focusing so much on the wife? Like, there's a reason she's there. You didn't question it. It just made sense. You didn't overuse her, used her just when she needed to be used. And then when you have the reveal, you're like, ah! You know, and then in my mind, I'm going, that's why she's so much in the show. But I didn't think about it because it made sense why her character was there. So I had a lot of moments of like, I like that. How long have you guys, I think Madhavan said you guys have been working on the script for about 2 years. But how long have you two been working together overall? Not just with Breathe, but in general.
Yeah. So our collaboration starts from, I would say, close to 9, 10 years back. You know, that's how we met. on a film set, and we kind of bonded. Initially hated each other, but then gradually we bonded. So, and then post that it's going to be, so I would really say that Vikram is not just a co-writer, he's a family foodie. So we have always been brainstorming, if he comes up with some idea, I used to bounce it off, I used to come up with some idea, I used to bounce it off, and then scrap things here and there. So, but yes, Breathe was the first script which we both really thought that that this is what we both are gonna we like, and let's just write it. That was that we could share some thoughts.
Yeah, Mayank is a family friend. We meet as families. Our families know each other well. Uh, uh, we meet for dinners. We go out for dinners. We don't work then, but when we work, the situation at work is on a very serious note. We are not friends then. We are free to, if he says, he comes up with a scene that I don't like, I can even shout at him, what the hell, what is this? It's bullshit. And vice versa. Mm-hmm. So at work, we are really professional. But besides that, we are very, very close friends, very close family friends. And we will continue to be so, whether we write together or not.
Well, it's always a sign of a good relationship. If you guys are just, when you're at work doing your thing, if you're just saying good things about each other, you're not progressing. You've got to have some good critical things to, you got to be honest with each other, really. So that's always a good thing. Do you have any projects that are coming up, any future projects that you guys are working on? Are you going to be collaborating on anything else coming on?
Yeah, we will be, and you will be told about it shortly.
I want to be told about it.
Yeah, we are working.
Yeah, and then post Breathe, there's a lot of expectation now. Not I'll say from each other, to really give our best, because the kind of appreciation and feedback we've got, it really inspires us now and pushes us to really think a lot and go into detail of every story. And because this is what I tell a lot of filmmakers, who are right now making shows, series, films, that there is an audience who will appreciate all your hard work which goes behind in writing it. So don't just take it lightly, that people are not going to notice this. People do notice each and every moment. And especially on this medium, I would say they're very critical, and we should be very well aware that people can pause the moment, scrutinize it, go back, come forward again. So we've got messages where people have taken snapshots, written their messages on it. The kind of involvement the audience shows with a series, it's amazing. And so it is pushing us as writers and me as a director to really work hard enough on writing the script, go into the nitty-gritties, the character graphs, the details, the unexpected events, and as a director to go into the detailing of everything from photography to the set design. People do notice that why there's a Deadpool poster behind that. Is there any idea behind it? So they want to talk about it. So you should be very sure what you're really doing on this video, I would say. So this is really inspiring.
And what we're working on next is a little more, or I would say far more complex than what we did with Breathe.
I'm intrigued. Because, I love, sometimes when something grabs my attention, I end up researching it a little too much. Like, I did the same kind of thing that you were saying about pausing and taking screenshots. I took screenshots of the movies that were playing when at the blind school. I took screenshots of the map where they were showing where the pool was, and I thought I was catching you.
So I would just like to cut you in and to end it on a. So basically, involvement of the audience goes to some, is to the kind of So what happened when episode 8 got aired, and by the end of episode, when the finale came and everything, so next day I received a mail from Chennai, a hardcore fan of Paddy sir, where he said that you better not come to Chennai next time. How could you kill Madhavan? So they were death threats. So Paddy sir said, "Don't worry, you're gonna fly with me."
Yeah. Well, Indian fans are very protective of their stars. I get a lot of comments when there's something I don't quite like or I don't think is the most amazing ever. I get a lot of comments like that too. But it is nice to know that they have such strong, great fans. It's a good thing. But it does get a little weird sometimes.
And it's growing with Amit Shah, the kind of portrayal he did for Kabir, the approach towards being an alcoholic, fighting his demons, and it connected so well with the audience. It's an amazing feedback which we are getting from Kabir and Danny. So,
yeah, Amit did a great job, especially during some of the, when he was drunk, or like a lot of the shots being drunk, a lot of people can act that and get away with it. He did a very good job with that though. But it's the next morning. Whenever you see people on their hangover for the next morning, that's a bit harder to act. And he looked like he really did just roll out of bed with 2 hours of sleep, is still maybe a little drunk. And he played that perfectly. I really enjoyed his performance of the day after hangover, I've got a headache thing, leave me alone. He did a very good job with that.
And I would, to add to that, I would like to share the process of how Amit really achieved it. The next day hangover, because it was very crucial. So Amit, so we were shooting back to back, and he came to me and he said that at least with me, my portions, his house portions and everything, shoot with me for longer hours. Stretch it to 12, 13, 14 hours. Don't let me go to the vanity. Just keep me here. No ACs on the floor, anything. So, he could really go through that. And then he used to go home and not sleep the whole night. And next day, he would just land up and say, let's just roll cameras and shoot back the next day early morning scene where he gets up on. So, the kind of hard work he really did, and commitment of this.
He subjected himself to physical trauma so that he could really do his best, and that's commendable. I mean, hats off for an actor to do that.
Well, and it shows in his performance. Like those choices made a lot of sense, and they worked very well. So, commend you, Mr. Amit. That was great. I loved it.
And then another thing which we came up with is, again, sorry, I'm just, because you really admiring, that's why, I'm eager to share the process with you and the audience, the followers of this channel, is that, so he, like a lot of people said, that when he was enacting, even my crew thought that he's been drinking in his vanity and then coming onto the set. So, which we kind of, so there was a behind the door moment for that. So what happened is, we were very sure that, the other characters should smell alcohol. When you walk into the room, they should smell, they should be able to smell that you have been drinking all night and everything. So just before the take, what he used to do, he never used to drink. He doesn't drink though. So he used to just gargle his mouth with wine, red wine, and just spit it out. 2-3 times he used to do that, and just come in and act the scene. So when he used to just say his lines, the opposite actor would feel, would get the whiff of that smell. And once I say cut, and then, some actors came to me and said, we're shooting in the broad daylight and he's been drinking. I said, I don't mind that. So a lot of people till now think that, he used to drink on the set.
Well, that's a technique I've heard that's very useful. You know, Heath Ledger did it as the Joker when he was doing the scene at the party. He ate a lot of garlic so that when he was holding her face and telling him the story of how he got the scars, she kept moving away, is because his breath was so strong with garlic. You know, when there's a lot of villains that whenever they play villains, I think that happened on Harry Potter with Voldemort as well, as Fiennes had, you know, would eat something kind of gross and then it would show in a performance. It works, you know. But unfortunately for Ahmed, it means a lot of people think he's actually an alcoholic. That's pretty funny. But at least we know that he's not, so it's okay. I want to thank you guys for being on this interview. It's been great. You guys are awesome. Thank you again for all of your support for my reviews and my reactions and stuff on Twitter. It's been really nice. I talk to Vikram on Twitter. Often he sends me some, you know, messages and stuff. So that's always been great. You guys are awesome. Madhavan's awesome. Amit's awesome. Great show. Looking forward to your future things and future projects. I'll be waiting for that email with, you know, some heads up information, some of the insider stuff when it comes out.
You know what, Matt, there are so many critics in the world, but I follow you because your reviews are great, on the spot, and the best part is you entertain. It's not like a boring affair that I've got, okay, so what happens next? You entertain, and that's a very good quality that you have as a critic. And I think that should be retained, and I'm happy to be here. I'm honored, beyond honored, that you wanted us for this interview.
Keep it up, Matt. Keep it up.
Well, I'm a little crazy, and so that's not going to go away. I can't never not be crazy. So I think that's the entertaining part that you're talking about, is I'm a little nuts in the head, but it's okay.
Probably.
So is there anything that you guys would like to say to the fans that are watching this right now before we end the interview?
Just want to really thank each and every viewer on this channel, and back to you and people all over the world, in India as well as abroad, for really owning this series, you know, with great the kind of feedback you really have given us. It pushes us as filmmaker to really work hard, and I'm sure that, you know, we're gonna match up with that expectation. Thank you very much for all the love.
Anything, Vikram, before we go?
Yeah, you guys have pushed us to do better, and we are trying to give you something that excites us, excites you, and should be a little better than great, or so we are trying.
Well, good work. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys for joining. I've got links in the description for Breathe on Amazon Prime if you want to go check it out. I highly suggest it. You can watch the first episode for free if you don't have a Prime account or you're on the fence undeciding. But like, share, subscribe, comment below, let us know your thoughts. What would you have asked them if you had a chance? Give me your questions. I said like, share, subscribe already. I was supposed to say that later. Oh well. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and we will see you on the next video.